TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations.
Shalom v'erev tov, good evening. Welcome to our daily TV7 Israel News Bulletin, broadcast from Jerusalem. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reasserts Jerusalem's resolve, emphasizing that the battle against Iran is not over. U.S. President Donald Trump says that the next 2 to 3 days will indicate whether Iran is serious about the negotiations. And Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Baqer Ghalibaf, proclaims the Ayatollah regime's intentions to outmaneuver the American blockade, which is crippling the Islamic Republic's economy. An abrupt cessation to the exchange of fire between Iran and Israel following U.S. President Donald Trump's intervention remains intact, albeit extremely fragile. In a televised address to the nation following President Donald Trump's phone conversation with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the latter underscored that Israel's battle with Iran is still not finished.
לפני שנה יצאנו למתקפת מנע היסטורית.
A year ago, we launched a historic preemptive strike against Iran's intention to destroy us with atomic bombs. We thwarted this immediate threat, and we also eliminated the tyrant Khamenei. If we had not acted in time and with overwhelming force, we would not be here today. And I pledge again, Iran will not have nuclear weapons. With that same determination, we acted against Hezbollah as well. Hezbollah planned to invade the Galilee with thousands of terrorists, and at the same time, it planned to devastate Israel's cities with 150,000 missiles and rockets. We thwarted this threat as well, and we eliminated Nasrallah. And I would like to tell you, our heroic fighters are tearing Hezbollah to pieces. We continue to destroy all of their terror infrastructure in the security zone, including massive underground facilities in the Beaufort Ridge. So massive that they are unlike anything I have ever seen. Iran and Hezbollah are weaker than ever, and we are stronger than ever, but our battle against them is still not finished.
אבל המאבק שלנו איתם עדיין לא תם.
Prime Minister Netanyahu continued by stressing that Iran's failed attempt to force a new equation, as part of which Lebanon and Iran are part and parcel to one another's fate, did not and will not materialize.
ביממה האחרונה, איראן וחיזבאללה
In the last 24 hours, Iran and Hezbollah tried to impose a new equation upon us. And it is an equation I find intolerable and unacceptable. They thought they would fire at Israel from Lebanese territory and from Iran, and we would not act. That did not happen, and it will not happen. Not on my watch. Just as I have done for decades, I stand firmly on our right to act against our enemies. That is how we acted now as well. After Hezbollah fired into Israeli territory, I ordered the IDF to attack terror targets in Beirut and to eliminate Hezbollah operatives there. We did that. After Iran attacked Israel, I instructed the IDF to attack military and economic targets throughout Iran. We did that, too.
Prime Minister Netanyahu continued by explaining the rationale behind his decision to seize Israel's carefully planned offensive against the terror regime in Iran.
כרגע האש בחזית הזאת נצורה.
At the moment, we are holding our fire, because after we struck the terror regime in Tehran, it ceased attacking us. In the event that the terror regime in Iran makes the mistake of resuming attacks on us, we will respond with overwhelming force. Israel has a full right to self-defense, and we are exercising it to the extent necessary. I say this to you, just as I say this, with appreciation and respect, in my good conversations with my friend President Trump. With unity, determination, and wisdom, we will protect the state of Israel. Together, with God's help, we will restore security to the north.
נחזיר את הביטחון לצפון.
IDF spokesman Brigadier General Efi Defrin, in an update to the nation on the Israeli military's operations against the Islamic Republic of Iran, highlighted the heightened state of alert which effectively granted the Israeli Air Force the capacity to exact a heavy price from the Ayatollah regime for their overestimated position vis-à-vis Israel.
During the past 2 months since the ceasefire, the IDF has maintained the highest level of alert and full and complete readiness to resume fighting in Iran. We prepared for a variety of scenarios, including the one that materialized with the firing at Israel. We implemented our operational readiness and acted according to plan. The Air Force acted immediately and attacked with force. This is an unprecedented operational capability. In the first wave of attacks, dozens of fighter jets attacked defense systems, which constitute the regime's defense layer. In the second wave of attacks, we attacked the petrochemical complex in Baqer, southwest Iran. This complex produced materials and components essential to the regime's missile program.
It is worth mentioning that the Israeli Air Force was prepared to launch hundreds of aircraft to strike the Islamic Republic's military and dual-use economic installations. However, upon President Trump's request, Prime Minister Netanyahu instructed the IDF to postpone the mission. Meanwhile, in New York City, after attending the third game of the NBA Finals, President Donald Trump spoke to reporters about his phone conversation with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
We had a very good conversation, and he was hit, and he hit back, and I can't blame him for that, but he was hit, he hit back, and now they've called it quits, so they're going to just leave each other alone for another week or something. And now they both agreed through me to stop, and we're in the final throes of what will be a very, very good deal that will not allow in any way, shape, or form nuclear weapons, etc. And the Strait will open up right away. It'll open up immediately upon signing, which could be in 2 or 3 days.
President Trump was further asked about whether he had instructed Israel to halt its offensive in both Iran and Lebanon.
No, I said do what's right, but I want you to stop as quickly as you can, because they have to stop. It's had to do with Lebanon, and it has to stop. We want to get it finished.
President Trump went on to stress that while he believes it is going well, within 1 or 2 days he expects to know whether the Ayatollah regime is negotiating in good faith, while further highlighting that the naval blockade on Iranian ports continues to be enforced.
We have ongoing negotiations in Iran and with Iran, and that hasn't stopped. And we could have at least an idea by 1 or 2 days from now, but I think it's going well. The blockade continues to hold 100%. Nothing is getting through our blockade. No oil, no income, no nothing. Nothing's getting through the blockade.
Meanwhile, in the Strait of Hormuz, an Indian-crewed Palau-flagged oil tanker attempted to break the American blockade, failing to comply with directions from U.S. forces while sailing in the Gulf of Oman towards Iran.
There has been a recent report that today around 1:30 p.m. there has been a fire reported on a vessel, MT Marivex, in which there were 24 Indian seafarers. This is the preliminary information which we have received, based on which, as per available information, all Indian seafarers are presently safe. We are coordinating with Ministry of External Affairs, our Indian missions abroad, Indian Navy, Ministry of Defense, to ensure their safety.
According to U.S. Central Command, quote, U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM, disabled Palau-flagged MT Marivex as it transited international waters in the Gulf of Oman toward Iran. An FA-18 Super Hornet from the USS Abraham Lincoln, or CVN-72, fired a precision munition into the ship's engineering and steering spaces after the crew failed to comply with directions from U.S. forces. Marivex is no longer sailing to Iran. CENTCOM further revealed that while it had disabled a total of 7 non-compliant vessels and redirected 134 ships that had complied, it also allowed 42 vessels supporting humanitarian aid to pass into Iranian ports since initiating the blockade on April the 13th. Meanwhile, in Tehran, Iran's parliament speaker Mohammad Baqer Ghalibaf, who leads negotiations with the United States, proclaimed in a telephone interview that the Ayatollah regime aims to outmaneuver the U.S. blockade, which effectively cripples the Islamic Republic's economy.
Regarding the naval blockade, which is a war crime, we will certainly turn the enemy's plot into another defeat for them through comprehensive planning.
Ghalibaf further insisted that the American blockade alongside Israel continued operations against Hezbollah in Lebanon, Tehran's terror proxy, which continues to launch attacks against Israeli border communities even today, proved to the Ayatollah regime that the United States is not serious about a ceasefire or dialogue, a statement which in turn indicates that the Ayatollah regime is essentially vying for time rather than seriously negotiating in good faith. Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News, which is made possible by the generosity of our viewers. In that same line, I'd like to take this opportunity to highlight that indeed TV7 Israel is 100% donation-based, meaning that any support you give allows us to produce the variety of productions that we broadcast on a daily basis. And therefore, if you're blessed by our productions and would like to help support us, we do encourage you to donate. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Moreover, I'd like also to please keep encouraging you. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem and redemption of Israel. Jonathan Hessel wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, until our next update, Shalom from Jerusalem.